Yeah, we're just going back to do our 5th season of Leverage, and we've also just completed our 2nd convention. So that's been amazing to see the fan presence from all over, not even just Europe, but people came from all over the world to that convention in December. And there's just such a brilliant fan base that are all doing all kinds of role playing online and doing their own heists, and they've all picked, because we all have all the characters in the show have an archetype. There's the hitter, the grifter, the mastermind, the hacker, and the thief. And so all the fans have got their different archetypes, and they relate to each other in character. I mean, it's been amazing.
And how do you think the show has changed and evolved over the 4 years so far?
It's been through so many changes. The first season, I really loved it. I loved the whole concept of that all the characters worked in isolation, and they were all kind of quite damaged characters, and they were all really untrusting and untrustworthy. And then I think it's been actually a nice slow build in terms of how they've started to function as a group and a team, and the levels and how the relationships have developed. And the long-running drama, you've got, two things. You have to keep the stories interesting and the plots interesting, and you've got to keep the character development interesting, and hopefully we're still managing to do that.
And a lot of Sophie's history is sort of shrouded in mystery as well. So, do you have your own theories and ideas about her past?
Yeah, I'm quite big on backstory. I remember on Coupling, I was the only character that got my backstory cleared by Stephen Moffat, and I do have a backstory that I talked about on Leverage, and then suddenly John Rogers, the showrunner, threw a curveball at me, and there's an episode in this season that's launching the King George job, where something comes out about Sophie's past in the UK that was a bit of a surprise.
And how is it for you as well, working with an ensemble cast? Have you grown closer over the years?
Yeah, I'm used to being in an ensemble because obviously, Coupling was an ensemble, and that was a really good experience for me. In Leverage, we all get on, we're really lucky, we get on really, really well. And I think a lot of the relationships between the actors have informed the relationships on camera as well. Like, there are certain dynamics, like Beth, who plays Parker, and I have a sort of big sister, little sister rapport, which I think is coming out through the season. Tim and I really are best friends, and I think that the relationship between Nate and Sophie becomes more and more about mutual respect and getting one another. And Christian Kane, who plays Elliot, has very much like a kind of sibling relationship with Beth. They're always like goofing around on set and doing practical jokes and having a laugh. And so the relationships definitely do inform the characters at some point, I think.
Is it fun as well playing a role with such variety? Because in some moments Sophie can be quite cool, and then the next you're playing it for laughs.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest fears about doing the show in America was getting bored. And, I've never done anything, obviously Coupling was the longest thing I've ever done, and our seasons were really short. And also I don't think there's anything about Jane that could have ever got boring. But I was worried about getting bored on a long-running US show, and I think because of the concept of it always being in a new environment every week and playing different characters and doing different accents and having amazing costumes and learning different technology and having to do the odd stunt here and there, it's kept it really interesting, keeps it fresh, and keeps me interested. And I think that's the most important thing. As soon as you start to become sort of dread going into work and saying what time was the shot fired, then it's a sort of kiss of death for the fans as well, I think. But we all still love it. So I'm really looking forward to starting the 5th season.